What is good, YouTube? This your boy Aaron. I'm back for another video, and today I am reacting to the first preseason game of the Packers and also a couple practices that they had since the first preseason game. And I have to say this, I'm getting a little excited. They weren't good in preseason. By no means were the Packers putting forth the effort that warranted any sort of praise. But when I look at just individually certain players, I'm getting excited, guys. I'm getting really excited. Oh my God. I have to see it in the regular season. But if the Packers can get contributions from these four people, from these four players, and their impact players this season, NFC North better watch out. The NFC in general better watch out because what I've been hearing in camp and even that first preseason game, dog, if they can replicate this in the regular season, the Packers legitimately have a shot if they remain healthy. Because I also saw some reports from today's training camp and also situations about Jordan Love finger and Jaden Reed on a boot. I got the reports, but if they can remain healthy and these four players can bring what they're doing in training camp and the preseason to the regular season, we finally got something, Packer fans. So, who are these four people? So, the first one is Lukas Van Ness. Lukas Van Ness, I've been hearing so much praise in regards to training camp. I also heard, I saw a couple clips from the family day, which is the Packers offense versus the Packers defense. And then also the preseason as well. He made a couple plays, tackle for losses and everything like that. I don't think he got a sack, but he made some flashes in the first preseason game. And then the second one is Jordan Morgan. Now, if you're not familiar with what's going on in training camp, also family day and preseason, Jordan Morgan has been a standout. So much so that when Lukas Van Ness was cooking him on almost every rep in training camp and family day, people thought, oh, Jordan Morgan is garbage. Jordan Morgan, oh, what a waste of a pick. But then when you look at Jordan Morgan in preseason, when you look at Jordan Morgan against other people not named Lukas Van Ness, he holds his own. And you got to remember, Jordan Morgan, we select him in the first round. I believe it was 2024. Yeah, 2024. And he was hurt for the majority of the year, and we weren't able to utilize him that much. But when he played, he was pretty productive. And so far, he's been pretty productive. I don't think I'll show you guys in a minute when I get to all the information that I saw online. But then number 3, obviously Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden is a guy, he's caught practically everything in training camp. In preseason, we only seen him a couple plays, and he was able to get that one catch off of a slant for first down, and then he was able to draw a DPI from Sauce Gardner, so that was good. But when you see other training camp clips of Matthew Golden, his route running, his ability to catch 50-50 balls, tough catches, his just ability to win one-on-one versus our top corners. Matthew Golden has been amazing as a rookie. He's been the best wide receiver by far. I don't want to hear Romeo Doubs because we saw what Romeo Doubs looked like in preseason. He dropped the ball. I'm telling you, Matthew Golden, bro, when he gets to regular season, I'm confident he's going to be productive as long as Jordan Love is healthy. And then the last one, I haven't heard much from at all, really. I keep searching his name on Twitter, online, and there's nothing about this dude at all. But I know that in the limited amount of snaps that he had last season, he was very productive. I'm talking about Devontae Wyatt, and another video that I did where I think it was something about the players that need to be productive for the Packers season in order for them to be Super Bowl contenders. I put Devontae Wyatt on there. But man, Devontae Wyatt, this dude right here, I am becoming more confident that he is going to be an impact player this season for the simple fact that last year, in the limited snaps that he had 5.5 sacks. If you can generate 5.5 sacks in limited amount of snaps as a defensive tackle, as an interior defensive lineman, I can only imagine what will happen when you get starting level snaps, when you're playing majority of the snaps and not behind somebody else. So without further ado, let me show you guys just some of the things that I've seen online in regards to, first of all, Lukas Van Ness, because Lukas Van Ness has gotten a lot of buzz so far in training camp, and it's truly amazing. So the first one comes from this guy right here. He covers the Packers as well. The Packers Wire managing editor and writer, senior editor for USA Today, and he said several times this camp. Let me make sure this is sharing. Yeah. So several times this camp, Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst have mentioned the impact of new defensive line coach DeMarcus Covington. I believe I mentioned DeMarcus Covington in one of the previous videos that I did on the Packers not too long ago, and how what he brought to New England, his success in New England, how it'll potentially transition to what the Packers are trying to do. But defensive line coach DeMarcus Covington, Brian did it again this morning talking about Lukas Van Ness. Seems that change is paying off. We'll see when games start. And so when you look at other things that other tweets, another guy that covers the Packers as well is this guy right here, Hogs. He also covers the Packers. He has his own podcast, Pack a Day podcast, that I follow on YouTube. And he at first was very hesitant to really talk about Lukas Van Ness because when he was at the Packers training facility looking at the training camp, he didn't see any plays of Lukas Van Ness dominating, doing anything really. But he was able to finally get a glimpse of Lukas Van Ness and what he's been doing. And here's his reaction. This is what he said. He said, quite frankly, one of the more dominant practices for any player that we've seen throughout training camp so far. And I believe this is Andy Herman. I think this is a quote from Andy Herman, but he also was there as well, and he was impressed by what Lukas Van Ness was doing. So that is just some things I've seen so far. There's some other stuff going on as well. There's other clips of, I believe, Lukas Van Ness that has been making waves. This one from he's just pushing Jordan Morgan to the side like that. If you can see, show it one more time. But yeah, that was from Family Day, and yeah, those have really been the ones that I've seen so far. Besides the preseason game where I believe he had like a, I forgot what happened. I think he was stopping the run, and I really liked how he was able to stop the run on a certain play. The second one is Jordan Morgan, and although Lukas Van Ness, he cooked Jordan Morgan in that play, and he's been cooking him in a lot of reps during training camp as well. Jordan Morgan in the preseason game did not allow a single pressure across 23 pass blocking snaps versus the Jets last night. So even though Lukas Van Ness has been dominating Jordan Morgan, that shouldn't be a red flag at all. So I just look at that and I say to myself, maybe it's just Lukas Van Ness has developed so much so that he is making a talented player in Jordan Morgan look mediocre. Because look at this. He withstands his ground and he's able to prevent the pass rusher from getting to Jordan Love in this play. So that was another encouraging rep by Jordan Morgan. And you got to remember that Jordan Morgan, he is competing for that left tackle, that starting left tackle position, because Rasheed Walker is currently out with an injury, I believe. So you have to think about that and the fact that he is raising eyebrows, even though you have Rasheed Walker, who played pretty well for the Packers last year. So those are just some clips that I've seen. Those are some things that I've seen so far. The last one I want to show you guys real quick, and this is from just the previous season. This was from, let me show you guys. Hold on. I think, yeah, here we go. This is from last year, and this is Devontae Wyatt. And as you can see from the tweet, it says he played only 33 of snaps last season. And this is just a montage of what he did in his limited role. But like I mentioned before, he had 5.5 sacks. So I can only imagine what he's going to look like when he gets 70, 80% of the snaps this season. So that's really all I wanted to show. I've already talked so much about Matthew Golden. I feel like we're pretty much repeating the same thing I've been saying for a while now. But those are the four guys, and I'm getting excited. I'm getting very excited. I feel like at this time, it's all about got to show it in regular season, but there's a lot of bright signs towards this Packers team, specifically the defense, because the defense, yeah, I think they were top 10 in sacks last year, but that pass rush win rate was unacceptable. And if we want to get anywhere in the NFL, if you want to eventually be considered one of the best teams in the NFL and get to an NFC championship game, get to a Super Bowl, we need our pass rushers and we need our receivers to catch footballs. We need our pass rushers to get to the quarterback, and we need our receivers to catch footballs. And if Matthew Golden can be that reliable receiver for Jordan Love, if he can continue to display his catching ability and being that guy that's reliable, that can catch every type of pass that Jordan Love is throwing his way and can be a reliable receiver for him, then that's going to bode so much better for the Packers offense and what they want to do. And then with the defensive side of the ball, having the ability to rush forward with Lukas Van Ness on one side, and then you have Devontae Wyatt as either your interior defensive lineman or he's going to be on the right side of the defensive line. And those are your pass rushers. That's going to bode well for your team overall. And if you can have those two dudes develop and finally reach their potential and they can be impact players, boy, like I said, in order to compete, the trenches got to be taken care of. You got to be able to rush the passer. You got to be able to protect the quarterback. And you got to have guys that can catch the football. And all they need is some pass rush and guys that can catch the football. And the Packers are ready to go. And all of these dudes are first-round talents. What has been one of the problems with the Packers in the past 5 years is their inconsistency on drafting impact players in the first round. They have missed the boat when it comes to first round draft picks. If they can finally get some production from their first round draft picks for the past 3 years with Matthew Golden, Jordan Morgan, Lukas Van Ness, and Devontae Wyatt, this team could have one of the more talented rosters in the NFL. Those four players just hit their stride because that's what we've been missing. So that's all I really wanted to talk about right now. I'm not going to, how can I say this? I'm going to be cautiously optimistic with this situation and say that I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm hearing. We'll see if they can execute in the regular season, but in no way, shape, or form should any Packers fan feel pessimistic about this season other than some injuries. If injuries just start to happen left and right and there's like a bunch of major injuries happening for this team, then yeah, you can be concerned. But for the most part, I'm cautiously optimistic and I like the direction that this team is going. And I like that our young players are showing signs of growth. They're showing that they are developing, that they're starting to get it, and that the Packers are starting to try to make a really good football team with the addition of a new defensive line coach. And then they hired a defensive coordinator last year. They're trying to win. They're trying to become one of the elite teams in the NFL. And hopefully this year they can reach that tier. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, follow the socials, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Courtside Podcast. Thank you guys for watching.